everyone, I'm Stephanie from Stephanie Kahn Fitness, and today we're going to talk a little bit about how to properly do a push-up. So last week we talked about how to properly do a plank, and essentially a push-up is really just a moving plank. So we are going to apply some of those same principles that we use in terms of alignment from our planks to our push-ups. I'll go ahead and put a link to that video in the description of this one just in case you missed it. So I really love a push-up because it is a great body weight exercise that not only is going to develop upper body strength in your chest and your triceps and your shoulders, but it's also a really, really good core exercise as well. And there's an added bonus of you can do a push-up anywhere. You don't need any equipment to do a push-up. So if you've really only got time for one exercise, a push-up is a really good one to pick. Having said that, they can be really, really challenging, especially if you're a beginner exerciser. So one of the things that I really recommend for my beginners is to actually start on a wall or an elevated surface. So I'm going to show you the wall push-up first. So as we do a wall push-up, we want to think about standing nice and tall. And I'm going to come over to my wall here and place my hands a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. And then I'm going to step back just a little bit so I've got a nice long line, crown of the head down to my heels. Now, as I do my wall push-up, my shoulder blades are going to slide down the back. I'm going to open the space across my collarbones and then gently draw up and in with my low belly so that I'm supporting a neutral spine. From here, I'm going to bend my elbows and notice how they're angling down slightly instead of coming straight out to the side. Nose is going to come right towards the wall, and then I'm going to engage my muscles and push myself away. So that's how we can start with a push-up if we don't have enough strength to do a proper push-up on the floor. Another alternative is to use an elevated surface. If you have a house with stairs, a staircase is a fantastic way to progress your push-ups. And in fact, I actually do this a lot, and the elevated push-up. Like if I'm waiting for something to heat up in the microwave or I'm waiting for my coffee in the morning, I'll do some countertop push-ups. So that's a nice option as well. So if you wanted to do an elevated surface push-up, I'm going to use my step here. And we're going to plant our hands. Belly draws in, and you're going to come to a plank position with your hands on your elevated surface. So hands are going to be a little bit wider than they would be for plank. Belly draws in. Think about rolling your inner thighs towards the ceiling. Now, make an imaginary target between your thumbs. That's where our chest is going. So we're going to lower ourselves down and then push ourselves back up. So as we do that, the elbows are going to come back at about a 45-degree angle. So we're going to be here instead of here, because notice what my shoulders just did as I opened my elbows out to the side. They came up. So that's not a very stable position for your shoulders. We want to make sure we've got that stability. Now, if you don't have a staircase to go up a little bit higher or a countertop, and you want to try doing a kneeling push-up with an elevated surface, same thing applies. You're going to be here. You're going to drop yourself down so that your chest comes right between your thumbs, and then you're going to press yourself back up. When you feel like you're ready to progress to the floor, we can do a couple of things to progress towards that full push-up. So I'm going to move my step out of the way. The first thing is to do an all fours push-up so that we're stacking our hips right over our knees. Then we're going to drop that chest down, again, target right between the thumbs, come back up. Notice that when I did that, I still had my plank spine and I'm not arching or rounding into my back or dipping into my hips. Once we've got that, we can start to move our knees back. So now I'm in a kneeling plank position. Again, belly draws in. Almost imagine you've got a sling underneath you that's lifting through the low belly. I'm going to lower down and press back up. So once we've got that, another nice variation is to extend one leg. So now we're just kneeling on one knee. And then from there, we can progress to our full push-up. So I'll admit right now my push-up game isn't very strong because I haven't been focusing on them. So that full push-up, getting all the way down, is super tricky for me right now. So I usually stick with one of the other variations when I'm adding push-ups into my workout so that I can do a good push-up with solid form, because this is what I see a lot from people doing push-ups in the gym or my clients one-on-one. So the first thing I see is people really want to do that push-up on their toes. And so this is about the range of motion in their push-up, because that's a lot easier than going down and coming back up. If that's the case, maybe try dialing back to one of the other variations, either elevated surface or knees on the floor, so you can get a really good range of motion. So that's going to recruit a little bit more muscle fibers. Another thing that I see super duper often is that we're doing push-ups like this. And it's more of a torso movement than a plank going from up here down low. That's also another sign that maybe we need to practice some of the other push-up variations. I hope that you found this helpful as a guide, not only how to do a push-up, but how to get from beginner to full push-up. So if you're consistent in practicing this, I promise you're going to get to that full push-up in no time. I really hope that you enjoyed this little tutorial video, and make sure that you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, so that you won't miss any of the other tutorials that we have coming out on some of our basic strength training exercises. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Bye.